So I've been told that Spec Ops: The Line is one of those games that, well, sucks, but everyone should play it. I mean, if you look at the trailers, it looks like any old cover-to-cover shooter, but honestly, just like everything I ever do ever, it makes you expect the unexpected. So the game puts you straight into action with this nice little helicopter scene. So you shoot random helicopters until at one point one of them crashes into you. The game then tells you about and that basically your whole goal is to find him. And off you go into the desert. So you kill some bad guys, and to be honest, it looks like a typical good guy versus bad guy sort of story. You end up trying to save some guy from a hostage situation.
They took him to the nest.
So you follow that path until at one point you realize that the good guys are now teamed up with the bad guys. So it's more like a good guy versus good guy teamed up with bad guys sort of story. You keep going until you see a good guy hostage by a good guy teamed up with a bad guy. This is getting very complicated very quickly. So your guy kills the good guy that was teamed up with the bad guys. He then goes down his rope telling you he'll meet up with his friends, and you're like, well, ropes are cool, why not go down as well? It's only when you go down that you finally realize that that guy was also a bad guy. I don't want to kill this guy, I like him. You keep questioning yourself about your life decision until at one point you meet this radio dude that starts talking shit. So you end up opening the wrong door until you fall to your doom just to realize that, well, you're still alive. So you keep walking like any old man until you find some dude hanging upside down that has a radio on him. Radio dude tells you that, well, this trap wasn't meant for you, and then it was all meant for this guy named Ghoul.
Fuck yourself.
Well now, Captain. This little trap was meant for a fox named Ghoul.
5 minutes later, you meet Ghoul and he tells you,
Get out of there!
so you end up in a chase scene where some helicopter is trying to kill you, and some dude plays the greatest song cover of all time. So you end up surviving an explosion scene, and then you keep walking like it's nobody's business. You then find Ghoul in a hostage situation, and while trying to save him, well, he dies. So you find out that he had a map, and well, you follow it just like it was any old treasure map. You then end up finding a motor cannon that has white phosphorus, and you tell yourself, that's the OP shit right there. You then realize that it's conveniently placed in front of the bad guy's base, so you could easily just shoot them all down in one shot. So you shoot all the white phosphorus on all the bad guys until you realize that, well, these guys weren't the bad guys, they were actually the good guys trying to save the civilians. And you just killed all of them. So now this is more of a good guy turned bad guy versus good guy turned bad guy, but they were actually good guys trying to save the civilians sort of story. But just like any League of Legends player becomes salty about it and you decide to blame your shit on, well, somebody that I used to know. So you keep going until you find a radio with the voice of that guy that you used to know. He then gives you a life lesson and lets you go off. You end up telling yourself that maybe you should go to the Thalys building in Dubai because, well, that's the best tourist spot in Dubai. Especially post-apocalyptic Dubai. Whilst on your way, you end up meeting this guy that's also a good guy turned bad guy, just like you. It's this brilliant idea of removing Dubai's equivalent of Wi-Fi, water. So you end up stealing all the water from Dubai until you hit a truck accident. You then end up continuing your mission, which was going to that big ass tower to meet Radio Guy. You then kill Radio Guy and, well, you send a message, which briefly translates to You then get off the tower with a helicopter to then realize that you're doing the exact same thing as the prologue. And what's really messed up is that even your character notices that, so now it's... things are getting creepy.
Wait, this isn't right! Well, it's too late now! No, I mean, we did this already!
A helicopter crashes into you once again. You then end up realizing that you survived the helicopter crash, and you keep going, well, totally depressed. So your best friend gets hanged by the population of Dubai because, well, at this point I totally get it. You're bad shit evil. So you then end up killing the whole US Army until at one point, well, they surrender. So you then end up going to the top of the tower just to realize that the guy that we were searching for the whole time, well, he was dead. It's at this point that I realized that this story was actually a bad guy versus dead guy story. What the f?